Okay, I'm going to start inside. This is early April backyard, but inside is all of my citrus and my passion fruit and bay laurel and some seeds, and there's my little succulent corner. This has grown even over the winter. You can see it's already got some new growth going. Like, it really never stopped, which is kind of amazing. I'm planning on putting this in the ground because obviously it's going to be way too big for a container. And hopefully it's happy on the back fence. There's a pump that I still haven't opened yet, but to aid in emptying my water barrels to water using our rain resource. I feel like we don't actually get enough out of it because I have to manually empty into buckets and walk things around. So if I can hook a hose up to it, it's going to make my life so much easier. And this is a Lisbon lemon. That is a Meyer lemon, which we've already gotten fruit off of, and Persian lime. Oh no, bear's lime. And yeah, I got fruit off all three this year. That sad little guy is a lemon I grew from seed. It needs to be repotted. And these are about to get moved outside once we have our big dip in temperature. It's been the 70s and 80s, but we're supposed to have one night where it gets down to like 27, so I'm glad I waited. Our average last frost date is April 15th. So I was going to wait till then anyways, but I do harden them off on the patio where I just move them out progressively because that area is a little shaded. Because I used to just move them straight into my greenhouse, and the leaves would get fried and they get set back and we get no fruit. And so moving them out gradually helps because they need to be acclimated to the light. And so this is just a quick overview. Seedlings, mostly pepper. I do have some Roma tomatoes in there because they were very late to germinate. That is celery and parsley. This is a Goth Garden seed pack that I got a really wonderful group of girlfriends that gave me a whole little garden kit, and they love supporting me, which, you know, get you some friends like that. My husband does too. My family, I should say broadly, my kids as well. So they aid and abet. I just started new seeds yesterday, mostly flowers, but these little guys with the humidity domes, like these came up in no time, and so they might be my new favorite way to start seeds. This is a phlox that I got to put in the front, and then I also got a colocasia. I want to say it's called Black Magic, and then also I got a barracuda calla lily. And so I'm starting them in here. And then these guys, my brother, also supportive of my garden goofiness, little gargoyles for my drainage pipes out front. So I'm excited to get those. I also have a sea serpent that my family got me for Christmas, and it hasn't made it out yet, also because it weighs about 1,000 pounds. A little Tradescantia there, garden shoe collection there. All right, and make it outside. It's raining a little bit, but it's just drizzling, so I think it's going to be okay. All right, and it's my coffee. More tomatoes that I'm hardening off, and so all these things that are like frost hardy, these are probably all frost hardy. These definitely will not be. So frost tender things I'm going to move inside when we get our one freezing day. But I've decided to start onion sets here and get some roots established before I put them in the ground. In the past, I've just put onion sets in, and the squirrels or whatever, they just get blown around and picked up. And so I'm going to try and give them a little bit of a better shot at becoming onions. That's one thing I've not figured out yet. These are all poppies. These are hollyhocks. And these guys are begonias. Oh, that's a begonia that's almost died from being inside. Tradescantia, same thing, they're kind of sad. Cilantro, where one side germinated way before the other side. maybe a slant in the pavement there. Oh, I got some things popping up here, and more onions. I'm trying to get started, and I don't remember what these are. Oh, these are melons. That's a Minnesota midget that's popping up right there. And let's see, I got some chard I put in here already. It's a pine berry, and chocolate mint that's coming back. Some anise in the little planter there. I haven't put anything in. Those are just seeds from left over from last year that fell. That is a dahlia. I'm hoping will come back. I did bury her deep, so I might need to uncover some of that. A rose here with lots of daylilies I probably need to dig up and disperse. Got a lot going, a lot of mini projects. I did just get some black cow to put down around my trees, which I haven't yet. I put in potatoes yesterday, might have been late, but we'll see. These are figs. You see that one is waking up there. These were my fig tree when during Halloween the tree fell on our fence and in the middle of my little mini orchard. And I noticed that it was where it was split had some roots, so I decided to dig them up and try and make them their own trees. And I think I at least have 1 out of 2 working there. Carrots, growing in a way that you are not supposed to grow carrots. You should direct seed them, but when I direct seed them, they either get eaten by slugs or roly-polies or dug up by squirrels. So I found this way, I may not have long, straight, beautiful carrots, but I get carrots. So, and these are just toilet paper tubes or paper towel tubes that I cut up, so they're open on the bottom. And see, I had better germination. I feel like I didn't water them enough for a bit, and so some of them are cooked. This is a hydrangea, also thought was dead, but got this for like $4 at Aldi. I've got 2 others that are looking better. But you can see I didn't have a pot deep enough for all of their roots, and I didn't want to plant them straight out. I bought a nectarine tree from Whole Foods. I've probably lost my mind on how much I'm trying to do this year, but so far I'm making it work. And these are seedlings of Brussels sprout. Might have some broccoli in there, kale, chard. I have a friend who is also gardening. I don't see her all that often, but I'm going to take her some of these and some of my tomatoes and peppers. And these are the other hydrangeas I got. So looking much better. French lilac, and you see this is like curved and weird, and I'm tempted to cut it, maybe even back there, so it'll be straight, and then maybe try and propagate from these guys. Another French lilac that I divided from that guy. Clematis, also an Aldi find, and I think I might put that back here. Dahlias and calla lilies, again Aldi's, that I potted up. I'm gonna let them grow on. These guys down here, they're looking a little moldy because I've probably overwatered them, but they're in little paper pots. These are also poppies. I have the hardest time. I can get them started and I can't get them going. Last year we had like a poppy that lived and produced seeds, and it was in the garden bed. I'm trying to get these going in the front. I think it might be too dry back there, so my poppy dreams may be dashed, but you can see I'm trying like 4 different types. These guys haven't had good germination on all the things. These are things I had to stratify. Had to put in the fridge to get cold treat them rather. And those are columbines that are popping up, so whenever they get big enough I will divide them up into their own little pots. And that is an elderberry from cutting, which I'm super pumped about. Black lace elderberry. These are all the calla lilies and the dahlias. There were some tubers broken off. I don't know if it's enough for those dahlias to grow, but you can see the calla lilies are taken off. And my thought is, because it's a mix, that I will plant them this year mark which ones are which, and I will keep the burgundy ones, and I will give away the yellow and pink ones. And that's a ground cherry over there, and another one, and those are two tiny babies that apparently didn't do enough. Sea hollies, some kale, chard, hydrangeas. So when I got those other hydrangeas, they were really long, and so I just did some cuttings and stuck them in this very moist medium. That was from Cyclamen. I bought 2 Cyclamen on sale, and then had them outside, and it got very cold and they died. But this is like a very moisture retentive medium, so I decided I would make use of it. Here are some more seeds that I started, and these are all things that don't like root disturbance, but I just can't direct seed. I tried for 2 years and it just doesn't work. Oh boy, I got roselle, and it looks like okra coming up. Okay, so and the rest of those are melons, and can't remember what that is back there, but anyway, things are coming up. Super pumped about that. And then these guys are squashes, and it doesn't look like any of them have come up yet, but they're doing. And oh gosh, this is gonna be a long video going through the backyard. So more tomatoes, and maybe I'll try and be a little faster, otherwise it's gonna be a 30-minute video. So asparagus bed is doing really well. I need to wait like at least 1 more year to harvest. I did put chamomile in here. Those are pine berries that I grew from seed, just from a fruit that I got at the store, and put one in some dirt, and it made a bunch of babies. Strawberry Hill here is growing really well, and some interesting things. 2 things. I got the Master Gardener sale last year, and I thought that they did not make it. This, I believe, is a cranberry viburnum. So these are native plants. Got a little blackberry popping up there. Again, a bunch of things that I put in here and didn't think they were coming back, and then they did. And then I think this is a Solomon seal right here. This is my pawpaw. One of 2. I got a friend for my other one down the hill, and I think this one died, so I think I need to replace it, which is tragic. And then serviceberry right there, that's another one I got. And this, the struggle with bare roots is that sometimes you put them in, they do great, and then all of a sudden they fail. And this one I got 2, and the other one was over there. This one, they both were doing great, and the other one failed. So I need to get it a buddy at some point. There are serviceberries across the street, but I'm not sure if that's close enough for pollination. Blackberries popping up. Oh, all the road noise is getting bad. Hopefully this won't come through. Comfrey, which you can cut down to make a fertilizer. More blackberries, hollyhock. And I got a bunch of things popping up here. Tons of violets everywhere. I just kind of let them romp. And that is oregano. And this is echinacea. All these little guys popping up. I did spread a bunch of seeds. That is a black jewel raspberry that I got at the end of the season for like $7. More echinacea. And just to highlight this, I did finally put in, and you see the bricks are there to hold everything in place till it gets settled in. I put in more irrigation, so hopefully this will be an easier season for me to manage. Got to test out that pump though, because water going uphill, even when I turn on the spigot, it's not really doing the trick. So there's sage there, blueberry there. Some garlic that obviously I left in the ground and forgot about. These are all Brussels sprouts, and they've been getting chewed on, some of them quite a lot. And this is actually the second round. I do still have more. but I'm getting to the point where, you know, like it might be too late to make a go of it here, or just want to do other things with the space because I've got so many tomatoes and peppers that are coming. Another blueberry, my little salad corner, which I did just harvest my first salad for the family off of it last night, which is super pumped about, and I did put some cilantro in there as well since it's here. That is a Tropicana rose, which I put in the garden because I'm going to use it for rose hips eventually. And then thyme and oregano, and the oregano seems to be winning the fight at the moment. It's lots of yarrow. And these guys here, I believe, are some crocus I put in, although I didn't catch those flowering. Those also are crocus chives. And these were saffron crocus that we got a little bit of saffron off of. That's also got to catch the flowering. Alright, so I put in a bunch of things here. Scarlet kale, red mustard, and I put in peas, and it's more lettuce. And there's 4 different types of peas, and I don't believe I labeled them. I do have red Brussels sprouts in between, rhubarb. And these are dwarf peas called Sugar Ann, I think, so it only get to be like 2 to 4 feet tall, so it's a much taller or smaller teepee than the other guys. That is cabbage, red cabbage, black hollyhock. Got some delphinium that's self-seeded, which is wonderful, and all of my rhubarb here. New peach tree, which is super exciting. She looks healthy. And it does have a bunch of flowers and fruit on, and especially in the first year, you don't want to leave the fruit on. But we are supposed to have a frost, so it's probably going to kill back some of the new growth, and it's probably going to drop most of its fruit on its own. So I'm just going to let that happen, and then I'll probably pull off anything that's left. Also have hardy kiwi, which is moving. And I believe that is more of the black jewel raspberry. I just stuck a cutting in the ground. I had a couple things that I just stuck in the ground, and they're doing what they do. More peas. I also put in asparagus back here. So just trying to make use of all the space. And I will probably put more beans back here at some point. I'm hoping one day, the other hardy kiwi is at the bottom there. I'm hoping one day that all of this will be hardy kiwi. Oh, and my little birdhouse that my kids painted for me when they were little, that got, blown off of the fence. So I did sustain some damage in the storm, but my husband put it back together. And my little bee house over there. Sage over here, and all of that is evening primrose. My Honeycrisp apple, which got broken in half during the storm. You can see all that there. I'm considering whether to just cut that down all the way. And I should have already done that, but I didn't want to put it through too much more trauma. So it's leafing out. It's starting to rain, so I'm going to be faster if I can be. These are all broccoli, Romanesco and DiCiccio, and you can see just like my Brussels, well, some of them might be heat damage too, but it looks like something's chewing on it. We have birds, we have groundhogs, we have all the things. Some pak choi, some's already going to seed, so I don't have a whole lot of faith that I'm going to get much of that. Red Russian kale, spinach. Okay, try and speed run the rest of it since it's raining a little harder. More lettuce, cilantro, cabbage, red cabbage, onions. That's a bunching onion. Those are yellow onions there. Dill, chard. These are all cauliflower. That is my fig tree that got split in half, that I potted up some of the parts that had gotten broken off. And let me walk around this way. See, I still have a pile of sticks to contend with, figure out where they go. But my hardy kiwi that got bashed. This is the oldest one, 5th year in the ground, but we had to cut it back obviously because the fence crashed onto it, but it's coming back. This is interesting. Had some blackberries pop up here, which may have been a stick I put in the ground. My pawpaw is doing very well and is actually flowering. So exciting. I don't have another pawpaw in my yard for it to be friends with at the moment, so that stinks. But hopefully there's one close enough since they're natives. My original elderberry, I think that's just officinalis. I don't have a variety on that. Pink lady apple, which this is its 2nd year in the ground, but it did have some flowers. So it would be unusual if I got fruit off of that, but that's super exciting. Quince, which these are new, but they are flowering on this one anyways. Already trying to make some flowers. My other one hasn't woken up yet, and I'm worried it's not going to, but oh, well, look at that. I take it back. I spoke too soon. Good job, little tree. All right, and then blueberries. Lots of blueberries, blue jay, blue ray, and pink lemonade. And then last is my peach tree. That was a volunteer grown from seed. And those are my giant brush piles I still have to deal with.